All right, boys, so today is one of the most important videos that I'm dropping. So in the recent title update, there was a thing that changed a lot, and I think it changed the meta defense. And it's not the edge threat thing. We will go ahead and have a video linked at the end of this one that goes over this, but another thing that changed. So tuning to fatigue logic, so defenders who are not dedicated pass rushers will suffer a more severe fatigue penalty when engaging with a pass blocker that is significantly bigger than them. Now, their goal was this to stop blitzes like DB blitz at a dime normal, DB fire out of dollar, but we should know, right? When EA tries to fix something like this, it affects everything. This affects not only non-blitzing defenders, it works in the run game and also works on actual defensive linemen. So if you guys have been noticing that, wow, my defense is getting really tired and you kind of feel like almost for no reason, right? This is why right here, this change right here affects defensive linemen, linebackers, literally everyone. Now, what we're going to go ahead and do today is talk about how we can counter some of this. And first off though, offensive line is big. I think it completely changes the meta offensive line. If you are not running these two tackles or these two players are not on your team, I think you are at a severe disadvantage. Even if you just have 88 Trent Brown. The biggest thing right now, in my opinion, for offensive line is weight, because if we read the patch notes, right, everyone that is not in a 90-pound range of Trent Brown, meaning if they are not 290 and above, they are going to get fatigued when they go up against Trent Brown. The strength really doesn't matter. The stamina doesn't really matter. It is literally just because of his weight. And if you just do your harvest solos, if you haven't done them already, you can get him up to a 91 as well, completely for free. He is the best left tackle in the game because everyone 290 and under will go ahead and get fatigued when they go up against him. And the other card that I think is a must-have right here is going to go ahead and be Dawand Jones. So these two are the heaviest offensive linemen in the game. He is 374. Again, the strength doesn't matter. It's all about the 374. Now, it does kind of decrease the range a little bit because he's obviously not 380. So everyone that is 284 and above will not get fatigued by Dawand Jones, but if they are 284 and below, they will get fatigued when they go up against Dawand Jones. That puts us at a crazy advantage right here. And now these are also other pieces you can go ahead and add. We are going to go ahead and play people out of position. Again, we're trying to build a heavy offensive line. So someone like Orlando Brown at the guard right here, he is 363, and everyone that is 273 or below, guess what? Gonna get fatigued by Orlando Brown at guard. We can also, again, turn off natural position right here. We can also add Jordan Mailata right here, 89 overall, what's called harvest guard. He is 365. So everyone 275 and below will get fatigued by Jordan Mailata. And then finally at center right here, we can just go ahead and add Larry Allen right here. Larry Allen, he is 335. Honestly, I kind of wish we had someone even a little bit heavier. This means the threshold for this is 245. And I mean, it's not, like I said, not a strength thing, but this is potentially like the biggest offensive line that you could play, right? And what does this mean on defense, right? So what was really the meta? For instance, Derek Thomas on the edge, even let's say T Sizzle on the edge, and then a lot of people would play out of position, what's called defensive end and defensive tackle. I'll try to find a good example of that. For instance, like Will Anderson was like a lot of people's number one. So what does this change? So Derek Thomas is potentially going up against Trent Brown. He is not in the 90-pound threshold. So after a play or two, he is going to be gassed. He is going to be really tired. And when we look at Terrell Suggs this time, though, if he goes up against Dawand Jones, guess what? He is also going to be gassed after a couple plays. And then on the interior, Will Anderson going up against Larry Allen, guess what? He's going to go ahead and get fatigued by all of our guards as well if you play him a defensive tackle. So what does this change? What does this mean for the meta of like defensive linemen, right? I think these speed guys, right? For instance, like Derek Thomas, other people off the top of my head that like a lot of people were using, even like Micah Parsons, LT, like a lot of these type of players, right? That are just lower in weight. They just really aren't that runnable right now. If you do care about the fatigue, that's the thing too. You might not care. In my opinion, I think it matters. I do not want my defense to be tired. Now, other things to note though as well with this team before we build out a lineup, middle linebackers also go ahead, guess what, get fatigued. So you're going to want people that are really high in weight almost everywhere. I think this makes middle linebacker Gronk even better because he's 268. I really think it does. I think he is by far and away the best middle linebacker. It's unlikely that he will get fatigued by guards and also centers. And he's 94 speed, lurk artist for 0 AP. Y'all already know though, Gronk, best middle linebacker in the game, especially now with that weight. But how does that change pass rusher? Does it change DBs at all? I think the one thing that changes with DB is the fact that I think, Julius Peppers in the secondary must have on the team, especially at a top safety spot. Because for instance, right, I was running Julius Peppers at one safety and I was running Antoine Winfield at another safety, right? So Antoine Winfield was my other safety. I noticed Winfield, like, because if linemen get up to the second level, right? They get up to the second level, your safety is going to be crazy fatigued. Unless you have someone that, guess what, is in that threshold with every single lineman, which Julius Peppers is. Also helps that he's 6'7". It's not really like, I don't think it's a hard sell to run Julius Peppers. It's just, he is going to be someone that just does not get fatigued because of his weight. I think two of the most important pieces on defense right now, Rob Gronkowski, Julius Peppers, just because they're unlikely to get fatigued. Now, we take a look at pass rushers though, right? One, in my opinion, I think abilities really matter. And two, how are we going to go ahead and not get fatigued by these heavy offensive linemen now? Well, we got to find people that are in the threshold. So something you can do as well, because you don't have to copy me. Literally what I did to find the offensive lineman, that I was like, okay, who has the highest weight? I went on the website mutt.gg. I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but I use their website a lot because it is super, super helpful. I think it's the best Mutt database you can use. I made it to where they were 88 overall just because I wanted at least solid offensive linemen. I selected all the offensive lineman positions sorted by weight. Now, what we're going to go ahead and do this time is we're going to do the same thing for what's called defensive linemen, even outside linebackers, but instead of weight, this is what we're going to do too, because if we just get the fattest defensive lineman, what is that going to do? That is going to make it to where the mobile quarterbacks can just roll out on us so easy. So I don't want that. I actually want speed. Right here, we can actually add a filter for weight. Your right end goes against the left tackle. I believe so. I might be wrong on that. I'm pretty sure, unless I'm just like losing my mind. But so what that means though is, right, your right end needs to be in a 90-pound range of Trent Brown. That is, if they play him out of position or whatever, that could turn into a game within a game, by the way. Like, people move Trent Brown to the right side. Like, they could do some nasty stuff with that. Maybe I'm giving some of the runners ideas. That means we need people that are 290 and above to fit our right end spot. And if we just sort by this, right, we have a decent amount of options. So we can't use Julius Peppers, sadly, you know, that's sad, but we do have one of my favorite cards in the game already, and that is David Bakhtiari at right end. There's a couple reasons why I really love this card. So first off, 87 speed, 89 acceleration, pretty decent physical stats. I think I can trust him to somewhat keep up with the mobile quarterbacks in the game. 6'4", 310 pounds, not going to get fatigued. 85 finesse moves, 93 power moves, great block shot, great impact blocking. But the other major selling point on this card is inside stuff for 1 AP. I think this card is a piece on the defense. I think for sure you should go ahead and play him as your right end, just so you know, hey, he's not going to go ahead and get fatigued by Trent Brown. Love this card right here. The heaviest offensive lineman in the interior that we could have put right here, again, it could be Trent Brown. You could go just 290 across the board, but likely they're going to play him at left tackle. So this means in the interior, we now have like a new threshold of 275, which does make life a little bit easier. So we're going to go ahead and filter by weight right here. And now we change the 290 to 275. And these are all players that won't get fatigued in the interior. We have potentially, though, you can't use linebackers, which does kind of suck. So we're going to go ahead and take those off. And when we look at this, right, I mean, JJ Watt, he's great, but 3.54 mil, not paying that. Chris Jones, I mean, he's 6'6", 300 pounds. Won't be able to get him for a while though. He is actually someone that would be really, really nice in this current meta. Aaron Donald right here is 280. Aaron Donald's kind of in a weird spot as well, because if we think about the DTs, there are times where the tackles could go ahead and maybe help on the DTs a little bit, depending on the set, of course, right? So to me, man, you don't really want someone that maybe could get doubled. And if we just keep like scrolling down, right, someone like a DeForest Buckner is actually pretty solid right now. 86 speed, 87 acceleration, 87 finesse moves, 81 power moves. He is great. So just based on pure stats, I mean, DeForest Buckner is fine. So someone like a DeForest Buckner, if you don't care about abilities, he is fine as well. So we can go ahead and play DeForest Buckner right here. And if you want, say, an inside stuff right here, you can go ahead and flip-flop these two, and you can run inside stuff on DT. Or we could do something else where we say, you know what? Maybe we don't want DeForest Buckner. We're going to move him to defensive tackle 3 just because he was an example. Say we actually want inside stuffs that, again, are somewhat like we got Jalen Carter right here, 84 speed, 91 acceleration, 92 strength, good block shot, good power moves. He's 314, not going to get tired, gets that inside stuff ability for 1 AP to help stop the runs. And if you can't tell, I'm a little bit high on inside stuff. And then a defensive tackle 2 right here, we can go ahead and get someone, sure, he's a little bit slower, but maybe even Kyle Williams. I mean, 6'1", 303, again, won't get tired. The speed excel aren't crazy, but he has some good pass rush stats. And again, he goes ahead and gets that inside stuff ability ability for 1 AP. So I really like that. I mean, we have potentially 3 1 AP inside stuffs on the defensive line right now. And if we just keep scrolling like through like left end and everything, right? This is a spot where I wouldn't play Aaron Donald because again, we're going up against DeJuan Jones most likely. And this raises our threshold actually to 284 pounds to not get tired. And just looking at through the cards, right? I don't really want to use Keanu Benson because he has no pass rush, but again, this is a spot where DeForest Buckner could play. But another card that I like that I actually think got better with this, Reggie White as well. Reggie White is actually just cheaper. You know what? I was going to go ahead and say Christian Barmore, but I mean, there's no reason to pay 400K more when you can just get Reggie White and you're going to see very, very similar things. So Reggie White this time, 6'5", 291. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and play Reggie White right here, and we can compare him to Christian Barmore as well. So we take a look at him first, Christian Barmore right here. I mean, he beats him in Excel, and I mean, sure, like it's a little bit more block shed, a little bit more finesse moves, but he actually has better power moves too. So yeah, I mean, Reggie White, again, won't get fatigued. So this is kind of what I'm recommending to build your defense. I think 4 down lineman sets got a lot better just because, again, your line's not going to be tired. And also on offense, I think if you don't have Trent Brown and DeJuan Jones, I think you are playing at a major disadvantage. And potentially as well, it does make the tight ends that are super like big, like say Vita Vea, makes him a little bit better as well because just the fatigue penalty, Donald Penn as well. And like I said, I think you could get a little bit nasty with it, just how crazy it is right now. Like it's kind of nuts. If y'all have been playing a little bit, you already know. But yeah, boys, just wanted to give you guys some tips on how to not get fatigued, specifically on the defensive line, like your corners or your free, like besides like Gronk and Julius Peppers, your secondary really is going to get fatigued unless he makes some tackles in the backfield, or if you're like blitzing them a lot. People like Julius Peppers, Rob Gronkowski got to be your blitzers. So yeah, boys, hopefully I was able to help you guys with this video. I really haven't been struggling that much with fatigue because again, I read the patch notes and then I was playing a little bit, or I was watching people play as well. Their defensive line was getting fatigued, so I said, okay, EA messed up. We got to go ahead and get heavier defensive linemen. And yeah, boys, if this video did go ahead and help you, make sure to leave a like, subscribe. And if you guys do want to watch me use a team just like this live, make sure to hit that noti bell on YouTube or check the links in the description. Hit that Twitch with a follow. We've been grinding the streams over there, so I greatly appreciate that. But if you guys do want another video to watch, check out this one right here because I tested to see if edge threat was back in Madden 24.